Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to I Can Fix Your Movie.
Welcome.
This
Yay.
is episode 17.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're trucking along, man. We got an interesting film for you. Today. This is a film that I saw this in the theaters.
Yeah, I think we did.
And I liked it then.
Mm-hmm.
There were some things that I was just like, even back then, I was like, wow, there's one big glaring thing.
Right.
That's the biggest thing of the film. And I feel like if they'd fixed that, it would have been like, oh man, cool film. You know?
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. You think not so much?
Well,
There were too many?
I mean,
Well,
it would have helped a lot.
Okay.
I don't know that it would have. I mean, it's a good film. I'm not saying it's not a good film. I'm not saying I didn't like it. So I think it's already a pretty good film.
Okay.
But I don't know that this one thing would have just fixed the whole thing.
No,
for me.
well, not fixed the whole thing. I think it would have made it like almost kind of a night and day difference for me.
Okay.
I think it would have been much stronger. Much stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about the film Shazam! Exclamation point.
Shazam.
I'm trying to do my best Good Times impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like Shazam should be said kind of with a southern.
Shazam! Oh,
Shazam!
Like Gomer.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Good Times, but that's okay. Both work.
Sure.
Both work. So yeah, Shazam is an interesting film. For those of you that don't know it, this is from the comic hero Shazam, which is well, I guess we could just jump into the summary of the film.
Just tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You just jump into that. We'll just go from there. So Shazam. It's the story of Billy Batson.
What you guys can't see is that he turns into a child every time he says that.
Yes.
And then when he says it again, turns back into an adult. It's pretty amazing.
It's an interesting idea because
I'm saying you turn into a child every time you say it.
Every time I say it? Oh.
Wow, that joke just
Boom.
went right over your head. He's a child at this moment. That's why that didn't land.
That's true. Oh man. Okay. All right.
I was telling the audience if only they
me.
could see you
As a child. Yeah. Yeah. It was. That's the thing. I even as an adult, I still have the goofiest small voice of a child. So they wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
They wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. That's why. So thank you for informing them. Yeah. So the story though is interesting. I will say because I read the comics. Kind of growing up, and I always did think it was interesting because they created a character that is a kid.
Yeah.
And people are always like, "Oh, I wish I'd see myself." Well, this was one of those times that like, yeah, you really did see yourself as that kid because every kid thought, "Oh man, if that magician would have just
chosen
picked me, yeah, I could have this power." Of Atlas and Zeus and blah blah blah,
right?
And Mercury. And if they were just given that to me, then I could have just used this. And you say this name, and you just can turn into that. That's amazing. That's super cool.
It's absolutely amazing.
So yeah, okay. So the film follows this kind of thing. They did update it, obviously, quite a bit into the current time.
Yeah.
But it's a teenage runaway named Billy Batson, and he's supposed to be 14, I think, in the film. And he sure wasn't. But he spent his life searching for his mother that he lost at a carnival as a little kid, which I will say was super heartbreaking because that little kid was cute.
Yeah.
And him like going, "Where's my mommy?" And like, you're just like,
ugh. Yeah.
It's just gut-wrenching. So he refused to connect with any other of his foster homes that he's put in throughout his whole life. But, he's taken to this new foster home.
Yeah.
And they've got a bunch of kids in there, and they all just immediately are like, "Oh, you're the best and greatest." And he's trying to figure out his world. But he's unexpectedly transported into this hidden realm where this ancient wizard grants him these incredible powers, allowing him to transform into the adult superhero just by saying the word Shazam.
Right, and he gets the adultness and all the power.
Right. The look.
And the powers of this superhero.
But it's still Billy Batson's
But
head.
he keeps his 14-year-old mentality.
Which he's supposed to have the wisdom of Solomon.
Right.
That's one of the pitches. I remember. It's
I believe
Solomon,
it's in
Hercules.
Yeah,
it's Zeus, Atlas, Mercury. There's all those things. And wisdom of Solomon was not.
No.
He was not. It was wisdom of Billy Batson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was it that way in the comics? Or
yeah, I mean, he still had this childlike
innocence
thing. And I've always kind of gone like, wait, where is the wisdom of Solomon?
Why would they put that in the...
well, they need to finish the name.
The mantra.
It couldn't have been Shazam. It had to be Shazam.
Oh, wait. All of those letters are one of his powers?
Solomon, Hercules, Zeus.
Oh!
Oh, who's the child now?
I had no idea.
They explained it in the film.
They
did?
It.
He says it.
No, I know.
Wisdom of Solomon.
No, I get all of that, but I didn't know that. I didn't catch on that was
his name.
The acronym. That Shazam was an acronym for all of those things.
Speed of Mercury. I can't do that.
What? Yeah, I know.
Can't do it. Yeah, so that's his name. That's his name.
Okay. Revelation.
Boom.
Yep. Now I know.
Now you know.
I was today years old.
Yep. When you definitely didn't have the wisdom of Solomon in any of this. Yes.
Did not.
So yes. So anyway, he's gifted with all these powers, and he teams up with this foster brother, really his foster brother Freddy, to test out his superpowers that all of a sudden he just has. And his foster brother is apparently like a hero
nut.
Yeah.
Fan.
Yeah, he's a Wikipedia hero guy. He's like he knows all the things. He's like, let's test this, let's test this, let's test
right,
this.
He's just a super fan.
Right, super fan, and he's testing all his powers. Meanwhile, our bad guy, Dr. Savannah? Sivian? S-I-V-A-N-A. Sivia.
What?
Doctor.
Yeah, no,
I forgot how to pronounce it.
The doctor.
The doctor. Mm-hmm. Well, originally the film starts out with him being as a kid, and he's pulled in by the wizard Shazam and seeing if he was worthy, and he was not, and he was brought back to his real life, and then there was a car wreck, and his father, whatever it was, and he spent his whole life trying to get back to this thing to kind of get that power again, because he felt like such a little small person.
Right.
He wanted to be strong.
And nobody believed him.
Nobody believed him. Right.
Right. So he wanted to prove everybody
wrong. So there's this doctor, and he was rejected by the wizard as a child. He returns, and he unleashes the people that the wizard had captured within his realm of the 7 deadly sins. And you're
saying the people that he had captured. They were more like
the demons. The
spirits. like monsters.
The monsters of the 7 deadly sins. And they all go into the doctor, Savannah. I think that's it, Savannah. I think that is it. I think that is right. And then Savannah begins to hunt down Billy Batson, because the little demon things tell him like Billy is the only one that can stop you. So he's, not Billy, but Shazam.
Shazam.
He has no idea it's like a little kid.
No idea it's a kid.
Right. No. And he tries to find Billy and confront him. And then finally he's tracked him down right after Billy has finally found his biological mother. Learned that she didn't just, happen to lose him and she was looking for him all this time. She purposefully
left him
after she saw that the cops could very specifically picked him up, and they were like, they can provide a better life than I could possibly give him. And so they were just like, she was just like, I'm gonna leave him with the cops.
Right. So she made a conscious decision to walk away from her child.
Emotionally,
that was
very difficult. And so Billy now is shaken by this, and he's just like, ugh. and he's accepting that his mother has left him. And then he's now fighting this bad guy who has all these deadly sins in him, and they attack his actual now foster family.
Right.
And then in this big final battle, Billy embraces the connection that he has this shared power, and then he can share his power with his foster family.
Right.
And they also become Shazamians. Shazamites?
Right.
Shazammers.
Heroes. They also become heroes.
Other Shazammers.
Yeah, he realizes that in imbuing him with power,
right.
he also gave him his staff.
Right.
Which allows him to imbue other people in the same way.
And so he does. And he shares his powers with the foster kids. And then they beat the Doctor and the 7 deadly sins. And all is well in the world.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it.
Yep.
So what we liked, the heart of the movie was great. I mean, you got this foster family, and the dynamic of that family was actually really strong because the mom and the dad in that home were actually really cool and sweet. And
yeah.
I like the chemistry between Billy and Freddie as like when they're... And it's difficult because like we have 2 versions of Billy.
It is.
Which we're going to talk about. But I like the chemistry in both arenas.
Yeah.
Because I think Freddie does a really good job. I think he's a very talented actor.
Oh, yeah. He was great.
And the chemistry works. But, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, it works because Freddie kind of adjusts to it in both the Shazam version and then the Billy Batson version.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And it was, any kind of origin hero story I'm kind of always into. So I kind of like that.
I really liked, the actor that played Shazam.
Levi.
Zach?
Zach or Levi?
Zach Levi. All I could remember was Zach. But anyway, I really like it. He's hilarious. I think...
He's been in a lot of local films. In Oklahoma. He even talked about moving to Oklahoma because he loved it so much.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Come on over, Zach.
Yeah. Love to have you.
But yeah, I just thought it was a fun hero.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great moments in it.
Yeah.
There was a lot, the connection, like the family connection that Billy Batson finally finds in this foster family. I really liked that element of the story. It had a lot of hope in it, and I really like that. And I'm with you. I really love the origin stories. I think it's
those are cool.
Really interesting to see how,
if you
to
don't
see
know,
or how in this universe, that they've created for this one film.
If you don't happen to know that the name spells out the powers, then you want to know that.
That's a fun thing to find out.
It's a fun thing to find out on a podcast. Right in the middle of it. That's a fun thing to know. Like, oh my God. All right. So here we go to the hot take misstep. Here's the deal. This hot take misstep, we've already talked. We have the same one.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest one of the whole film.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to set it up? You want me to go for it? Okay. So here's the deal. I think Zachary Levi is a great guy. He's a great, talented guy. His, innocence, and how he plays characters is super fun. I think that's what sold him to people on playing this character, because he's like, hey, it's a kid. And he's like, oh my gosh.
Right.
But the adult Shazam
yeah,
acted like he was about 8 to 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the 14-year-old Shazam, Billy Batson, acted like he was about 22 years old. This upset, angsty, angry kid. Now, did he lose his mom? Yeah. Did he lose his mom? Yes.
Yep.
Get that. I totally understand that. He has lived with disappointment, which would make a somber, upset kid.
Right.
But when he was Shazam, he was like, oh, golly gee, almost the whole time.
So, yeah, it was a little bit of whiplash because they did not seem like the same person.
No.
Once he became Shazam,
he was not moody.
He he didn't carry that kind of hurt foster kid.
No.
Gritty, grounded. He didn't. Suddenly, he wasn't that way. He was like giddy,
and silly,
and cheerful.
Like, let's do pranks.
Super naive.
Yeah.
Like didn't like all of a sudden didn't know things that the kid Billy Batson would have known. I don't know. Right. It just felt
they're doing they did like a beer run. I mean, just so silly. Like this moody, angsty kid.
Yeah.
Before he'd be caring about finding his he's like, oh, I'm this person now. Well, now I'm going to use my power and find my mom. He didn't even.
I mean, I think the kid version of Billy Batson would have been excited, right? But I don't know. It is interesting because it just felt like two different people.
Well, oftentimes for our hot take missteps, we're telling things that we just didn't like. But for this one, because it's such a big one, look, here's the fix. You need to cast a much younger kid.
Yeah.
With more wide-eyed, hopeful, even though his mom was gone. He can't make him angsty and sad. His running away from foster homes wasn't to run away. It was to find his mom. It's not to be bad.
Yeah.
But they made him kind of bad, jumping in the cop car and doing all that stuff.
Well, yeah, they made him not wanting to connect, not wanting to be in relationships, super standoffish.
Because they wanted
I don't
to do
need friends.
Yeah, they wanted to do the family thing later. Like the chosen family can mean so much more.
Right.
And I understand the point that they're trying to make because some people are in that boat. And I'm like, dude, yeah, I get it. Sometimes the chosen family that you have is going to be bigger and more important than your actual family. Because if you don't have one, especially,
right,
then your chosen family is going to have to be important. So, but they should have cast somebody that was a little bit more like, oh golly gee, so that Zachary's portrayal, could have been. And I liked how he did it because that was fun to see a big superhero that has all these powers going like, oh man, did you see that? It blew up! Whoa!
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, I think the adult Shazam was super fun. Right. He was the most charming part of the film. So make the kid like that then.
Right.
And I think you could have had, instead of making him super standoffish and hurt and withdrawn, he could have just been obsessed with finding his mom. So it wasn't that necessarily he didn't want to make connections. He's like, I already have a family.
Right.
I just need to find her.
I don't need this right now.
Right.
I'm
and kind of make the storyline in that direction. Right. It's not that he doesn't like this new foster family. It's just he's got one. He's got one. He just has to go find her.
Right.
And so then when he realizes that she had on purpose left him, he's free to connect to that new family. Right. Exactly.
So let's jump in. Let's fix some things, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, Act 1. Billy's core motivation kind of gets lost. His search for his mom is introduced super early.
Yeah.
But then when he gets his powers, that kind of takes a back seat. It was all about finding his mom. But like I said, when he was discovering his powers and stuff, he never was like, let me use some x-ray vision or super hearing to find...
No,
nothing.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything like that.
Yeah, he just wants to show off. For people.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
And all of a sudden, which doesn't make sense. He was never like that.
It didn't track.
It didn't track at all.
It didn't track with his purpose. It didn't track with the Billy that they created as the younger Billy.
Because if that was the case, he would have just walked into a police station and got on the stuff and find this person for me. And they're shooting at him, and he's like, if you shoot at me, nothing's going to happen. You can't lock me up.
Yeah.
Find my mom. Right?
Right. That was his main priority. Yeah,
right.
He didn't. Yeah.
So for a fix, I think you tie his powers to his emotional journey.
Right.
Okay? Because the wizard didn't just choose Billy randomly. He chose him because of this belief that his mother's still out there. So his hope is what makes him worthy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Even if he doesn't necessarily realize this yet.
Yes.
So I think he's got to make sure that his search for his mom is still front and center.
Yeah.
And the family or whoever he's working with, so he probably needs an insider at the police station. He needs somebody that's he's able to work with as he's discovering this stuff. How do you do that? Well, then find the places to write that in.
Right.
Okay, but that's got to be throughout the story.
Right. Yes, agreed.
Next, the wizard's choice feels kind of rushed. Okay, so here's the thing.
Oh my goodness, it does.
So, okay, we learn that there's been hundreds of kids.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's been looking for the right kid
for a long time.
I mean, he's passed up on a lot of people. Passed him over.
Passed him over, and sends them back to their world. And they're like, you saw their account. I'm like, yeah, I was this wizard, and then I listened to the voice, and they're like, oh, whatever. But when Billy chooses to be the champion, it was pretty fast because the doctor had broken back into the world, freed
all the monster
demon 7 deadly sins.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was no test for Billy.
No.
Did you notice that? He just came in and he goes, oh, you are the champion. You are Billy Batson. Take this staff and say
yeah, it was almost like you're my I'm on my last leg
here.
Yeah,
he was kind of like, I'm about to die, kid. You're all I got.
Yeah,
that's what it straight up felt like.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, Billy had no test at all. I'm pretty sure other people would have done just as well if they didn't have the 7 deadly sins calling at their faces to pull them away, because Billy had nothing.
Yeah.
He had no test at all.
None.
And that is a problem, I think.
Well,
he should have been tested. That's all I'm saying.
He should have been. Absolutely. But, he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, I know. But you got to put something in there because you have people fixing movies like us going, well, hold on.
Yeah.
And we can't have that.
No. We cannot have.
If you're on my radar, you had something to fix. That's all I'm saying. All right. So for a fix, the wizard still has a trial.
Yes.
But it's more personal, more magical, more like, honestly, it could have been anything. You could have done anything. You could have put him back in the mind or the place that he was when he was like a little kid. And he had to defend his mother against something huge, right?
Yeah.
And he stood up to it.
Yeah.
Right? Show that he's going to fight for what he believes in.
Yeah.
Or it could have been, maybe it's not his mother. Maybe it's just another kid. Whatever it was, we see Billy Batson standing up against a bigger foe that he could not defeat.
Yeah.
And he does that with the magic, and he puts it in his head, and he still does the right things.
Yeah, we need to know why he's worthy of this.
Right.
So that we can trust him, which, I mean, he's still working through stuff.
Right.
Which is part of the film. That's part of this hero's journey, is that he's still working to become worthy. Like, even after he's become this hero, like, he's not really worthy of it for a long time.
But do you know what's better than no test? Any test.
Any test.
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Right.
Hey, will you shake my hand? Okay. Will you look me in the eye? Okay. Well, he's got some manners. I don't care.
Yeah.
Any test is better than no test. Give him something to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Next, there was kind of a tone clash, and it started kind of immediately because there's this very dark opening with Savannah, and it was intense.
Yeah, it is.
The car crash, and and then Billy's story
is super tragic,
but then becomes very quickly, when he becomes Shazam, very comedic and very silly.
He's silly.
Again, because of the tone and the way that Levi, but because he's supposed to be a kid.
Right.
But it okay, you know how, I'll say it like this. You know how in the cartoons, you've got 3 kids in a trench coat trying to be an adult?
Yeah.
Well, you got Zachary Levi on his knees trying to be a kid.
Right.
And it's like the same kind of thing. Like, kids are going, oh, I would like your best beard, sir. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, you're clearly not an adult. Well, him playing a little kid.
Yeah.
It doesn't work unless it's a real wide-eyed little kid.
Yeah.
So the tone clash kind of hit it too much. So that had to be adjusted.
There's some pretty, I will say the villain in this.
Oh, strong. Yeah. He's great.
Well, I love that actor.
Yeah.
In fact, I wish he got to play more good guys because he's a great good guy. He plays a lot of villains.
Well, he plays a good guy in Kingsman.
mean, he plays in Kingsman. I love that role. But that's what I'm saying. He plays a lot of kind of sinister.
Yeah, Sherlock Sherlock
and Green Lantern.
Yeah, Sinestro.
And this film.
Yeah.
So he's great at it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's so dark.
Yeah.
And the things like even when he gets revenge on his dad, once he has all these powers, it's crazy brutal.
Right.
It's just real dark.
Right.
And then on the opposite side, you've got kind of this silly, goofy hero that doesn't even know how to use all of his powers. Maybe that was what they were trying to do. They were trying to juxtapose.
Juxtaposition? Juxtapose?
Yeah.
Juxtapose.
Yeah. That kind of silliness against this like super brutal villain.
Don't know. I think that they were
But I agree with you that it was almost too much of like, whoa, we're in these really serious things.
Yeah.
We've got this really serious 14-year-old who's gone through really actual real trauma.
Right.
And then the hero he turns into is comical.
Kind of silly, yeah. Well, it felt like two films were kind of stitched together. This light comic coming of age story with a darker villain story.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it never really blended the tones very well.
Right.
And that's the job. For a fix, I think you've got to kind of mirror the stories. Billy and the Doctor, you kind of show how they both were rejected and pushed down, but like how Billy overcame that and how the Doctor used it to create almost like this kind of evil in him, right?
Right.
And because they both started from similar places, they both rejected, they're both desperate to belong.
Right.
But, you show that through how they respond.
Yes.
Rather than like, oh, well, he's just going to be this way and he's going to be this way. How they responded to those things mattered. So that's why I was saying, if you have Billy as being more innocent and hopeful, then it would have worked.
Yes, yeah, you had to have the kid be more like Shazam.
Right. Act 2. Okay. I think you're not going to believe me when I'm going to say this, because I've said the opposite of this.
Okay.
Get ready. Brace yourself.
I'm holding on.
Hold on. You're not going to believe me, but when they're learning the powers, the montage goes on too long.
Oh, stop. What are you even... Who are you?
I'm telling you. You know how much I love me a montage.
Too much training montage?
Too much training montage.
Wow.
It lasted so long. They did it, and then there was another section. And then there was another section. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They kept going.
But it wasn't really training.
No, it was
as
just
much
him
as
being
it
silly
was.
and like, oh, and learn another thing.
Yeah, discovering.
Yeah,
he's discovering what he's doing. So he's not like work.
Yeah,
training and learning.
I know, but
no. I'm saying that might be why it felt like it was just too long.
It's too long
because it was just what else can I do?
It stalls the plot. Is what happens. Him testing his power is fun, but just overstays its welcome. And I hardly ever say that, but because people, I think sometimes they short it. But I do love me a training montage, but not this one. Just was like, dude, we got it.
Yeah.
I think you've got for a fix. That's it. You just got to cut this down. Every time Billy uses power irresponsibly, it creates this ripple effect, like the bus.
Yes.
Okay, that worked.
Mm-hmm.
But that has to happen more often, where he's learning, look, I've got to be focused and not being so silly. And that's where he starts to mature as Billy Batson, but also as Shazam.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
Because anyway, that's how the Doctor found him in the first place.
Because he was reckless.
Yes. And I'm going to just put a side issue here.
Yeah.
When he does solve the issue with the, like he learns, oh, I shot this lightning bolt and it went way over and hit the bus tire, and the bus careens off the road.
Yeah.
Okay. He's standing at the bottom of where the bus is going to hit.
Yes.
The bus ends up falling. Okay, people are like, oh, they're falling to the glass, and they're upside down for
a while,
a long time. They're flipped down, not upside down, but they're headed down. Mm-hmm. Gravity is a thing, and he catches the bus about 6 feet away from where it was gonna stop
on the pavement.
And then he sets it down. He's like, I caught him. So what, Shazam? Do you know how the body would have been smashed into the glass? Because you know what doesn't kill you? The falling. You know what does? The sudden stop.
Right.
The sudden stop, whether it was the ground or you, their bodies would have been compressed and dead.
Yeah.
He would have been like, I caught it. And he sets the bus down and their bodies are mush.
Yeah, I think we all, when we were watching that, it was like, well, what would that do?
He had to fly up and catch it and stop the momentum. Not like stop the momentum at the bottom of the...
Right.
You fell all the way to earth and then that's caught you.
His 6 feet would not have saved their lives.
Would not have stopped it at all, right?
Well, it would have stopped it, but they would have died.
Stopped it from dying.
Yeah.
It was. I was just like, what's wrong with you? Who?
Somebody who didn't go to physics class.
I guess. I mean,
I'm no physics expert, but yeah, it seemed pretty.
9.8 meters squared, whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't even know what you're saying, but it seemed pretty obvious to me that him catching it or it landing on the pavement would have been exactly the same result.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not even that smart. So
yeah. All right. So that was just a side one. All right. The next one, the doctor. He felt we feel kind of disconnected from Billy. Mm-hmm. He was just this random guy.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. He's a solid villain. Right? Solid villain. But he and Billy don't have any connection.
Right.
Just that he's this thing. But I think for a fix, the doctor, he need to be obsessed with finding Billy. He's got to search him out, like really looking for this guy.
Wait, before or after?
After he
gets his powers?
After he gets his powers. He knows that it's out there. Somebody's doing this thing, and he's like, oh, he's got to... It can't just be like, oh, we gotta look for him. It needs to be in his mind. I know that he's trying to convert him over because he's like, pass your powers to me, right? Mm-hmm. But in his mind, Billy's unworthy of this because he was the correct choice.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And he's here to correct that mistake.
Okay.
Right?
I like that.
Right. And so he's digging into his personal stuff. He knows where his mother is. He's the one that can even tell him, like, give me your power, I'll tell you where your mom's at.
Doesn't he say that in the movie? Does he never say that?
He doesn't learn it from him.
No, I didn't. I know he doesn't learn it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought maybe he did say something like that, but maybe not.
I'm just saying, like,
his motivation needs to be a little bit different.
Yeah,
a little bit more
searching
connected.
out and understanding who he is. Understanding his enemy, because he's read the books and he's like, understand your enemy, I understand who you are. And then he's like, well, I'm going to search this out. I know who you are, your motivation. Then he's connected to Billy.
Yes.
And he realizes, look, you're just some kid who never was tested, and
right.
I'm the worthy candidate.
I'm the one that's going to correct this. It's up to me. Yeah.
Next, the 7 deadly sins are super underdeveloped, man. I mean,
yeah,
they look cool.
Yeah.
But they don't have any distinct personalities or impact. I mean, we know, like, which one was sloth. It was the fat one, right? And we know greed was the one that had multiple arms.
Yeah.
The other ones we don't really know.
Right.
What they are, because they're just all basic stuff. And they were just super underutilized. They were in statues, and then they were in the guy. And, they fought at the end.
Well, and they had their moment in the conference room when he gets revenge on his dad.
Did you know which one was which?
No, I had no idea.
Not.
It was just a bunch of monsters. Right. And I don't know that we were even supposed to be able to distinguish them.
I would have liked more, because then I would have known who the enemy really was.
Right.
And why he's being manipulated. So I think you've got to give each one a role in manipulating the Doctor and the others. Like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, the 7 deadly sins are like scanning the people at the table, and there's like, no, I can't. That's not your sin. Greed. Okay.
Yeah.
Or yours is lust. Got you.
Right.
Yours is, and that's the one that is attacking because it has power over them.
Okay. Interesting.
That would have been kind of cool, right? Exploit their weaknesses, and it uses the, whatever is that person's, little foible is the thing that they can use to be attacked.
Right.
Yeah.
It would have also been kind of cool if they all had a different way that
of attacking. Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Then they're just not monsters. They're like,
they're not just monsters that are tearing people. Like, they all kind of just tore people apart.
Yeah, but
and
they're
that was
an extension of the human flaws, reinforcing the whole movie's theme. Right.
Right.
And that's kind of the whole thing of why they could have been expanded a little bit.
Yeah.
Act 3, Billy's emotional arc. It just kind of resolves kind of quickly there.
Yes, it does.
His realization about family is just like, and belonging is like, oh, we all belong. Yay. But it happens, especially after meeting the biological mother. It just, it kind of just, oh, okay, I guess she didn't want me. Okay, I guess.
Would you have changed that story at all? Maybe is that canon? Is that in the comics? I don't know.
I think so.
But I
think he lives with his parents, I think.
I felt like
in the comics.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know that because the whole thing is like he wanted to get these other people like that, and he has that as their foster family. But
and I'm not talking about that. Maybe I'm just talking about, like, I don't know. To me, it's interesting that his whole purpose is to find her.
Yeah.
And then when he finds her,
it's just kind of
she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I just can't.
Yeah, I can't. I gotta go to work.
I can't deal with you. And he just kind of walks away.
Yeah, gives her the compass, and he walks away.
Like, you would be, if this was, you would be never the same. Like, devastated. Right. There's no weeping. There's no pleading with her. There's nothing. He just walks away from her. And I don't know. I think, man, they could have done anything. They could have made it to where she had passed away, or she had. Maybe he did actually get lost, or maybe he was taken, and I don't know. I just feel like maybe they could have done something different.
For Figs, I probably wouldn't have written that in the first place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had that in. But if they do, I have kind of an idea, okay?
Yeah.
You kind of make that moment a breaking point, and Billy finds his mother and realizes that she chose to leave him. It kind of shatters him, and he loses the ability to use his power, or at least the will.
Right.
To use his powers, right?
Right.
Not because they're taken necessarily, but he just doesn't believe that he's worthy, which is kind of the thing.
Oh. Right. Yes.
Then,
I would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when his chosen family becomes part of his life world again, then they return. And then he returns to them.
Right. When it's needed for him to protect them.
That's right.
Then he gains them back.
Right.
Okay, see, that would have made... Mm-hmm,
okay.
That would have helped a lot. I do. I like that a lot.
Good.
I just felt like...
So you're saying I'm good at this. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. I just need to have that reassurance, words as well. Affirmations of happiness.
Okay. Got it.
Yes. All right.
You are affirmed.
Oh, yes. All right. I see. I'm still in kid form. That's why I'm doing that. I'll say Shazam again. So, hey.
There you go.
Oh.
Now
I've
you're
got
back.
a beard and everything. Okay. The final battle is more spectacle than meaning. Okay. So the climax is kind of fun, but it's leaning on heavy, action and CG without really making it back to Billy's emotional journey. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for the final battle, it should hinge on Billy's choice to share the power instead of just this, cool moment where they just get it, but it's an expression of his character arc.
Yeah.
He stops searching for the family and he chooses this one.
Right.
And he gives the foster siblings the powers And he creates a family that he was looking for all along.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that would have been a little bit more interesting. Right? And then, how they defeat the 7 deadly sins based on their power sets.
Yes.
Because, they had to figure out their powers like super fast. And like, for example, the little girl.
Yeah.
I tell you, now she was the perfect embodiment of like how it should have worked.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, golly gee. And then
she was.
As the adult, she's like, oh, golly gee, still.
Yes.
And I'm like, there you go.
Yes.
That one worked.
Yeah. She was the actual kid version.
Right.
As the adult and as the kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last one. The theme is stated but not fully earned. So the movie tells us that that family is important, but it doesn't always like feel deeply integrated in the story's stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for a fix, you make the family essential to the victory from the very beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
Each foster sibling should contribute something specific that helps defeat the doctor in the end. Okay. And then by the end, it's clear that Billy alone couldn't have won, and they only were able to do it together.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties into the last one. I know that, but like that's kind of the point of it. It's all about this connection to family, because I know what they really wanting to do was, make films after this, which they did. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to this podcast first. They did, but
maybe we didn't record it when we should have.
We should have jumped this before then. Yeah,
we could have changed history.
Could have changed DC's universe. So if you listen, James, that's James Gunn is in charge of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I think that really, if they really lean deeply into this idea of family,
mm-hmm.
and then how they could use that, but like the thing is, once the kids have gained these powers,
mm-hmm.
they're still the kids.
Yes.
And that idea of like, look, this is how we do things, and I'm using my superhero powers to enhance what I did as my normal self.
Right.
Right? Like, I know how to, and they've got to show that. Like, she's really sneaky and quick and elusive. Well, then that's her power, and she's still doing that, but she's got superpowers to do this.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And he's all about tinkering and building things. Well, he takes the thing and wraps it around and builds the thing for a trap for one of them to fall into. So he's still being the kid and the foster person, the foster kid before the sibling, but they're just using these powers to make their stuff bigger.
Yes.
Right. So that's it.
Love it.
And those are the fixes. Shazam, I felt like had a winning foundation.
Oh, I think so.
But it just wasn't to me, it just didn't quite land.
It didn't gel together.
And it really could have been a really, really, really great superhero
film. I agree. I really did like, it had the actors. It had, it had a pretty good story. It needed a few tweaks here and there.
Right.
But I think, like we talked about, one of the biggest problems is just there was a little bit of a disconnect between the dark side of the film
the
and
emotional through line. That's
the
exactly
emotion,
right.
And then the kind of the silly quirkiness, comedic of of the superhero.
Well, if you connect Billy's powers directly to his need to belong,
mm-hmm.
the story becomes more than just being a fun, silly outing.
Yeah,
it becomes meaningful.
Right.
And the fixes that we've got. It's not just like, what would a kid do with his superpowers? If a kid was given superpowers, what would you do with it? It kind of becomes, what happens when a kid finally finds a place to belong?
Right.
And realizes he had the power to do that all along,
right.
Dorothy.
Right.
Right. There you go.
Always had the power.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's
a good one.
Shazam!
Uh-oh.
Oh, back to the kid.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you got to finish it out then.
You got to grow up.
Oh, no, you... Oh, no.
We appreciate all of our listeners, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.